Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Jan Finlinson, the president at RunLessWire. Thank you for joining us, Jan.
Pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about RunLessWire before we get into the specific new product that we're focused on.
Yes, RunLessWire we've been around for quite a while, and we specialize in wireless lighting solutions, well, lighting controls specifically, and we've offered simple wireless switch kits, three-way wireless switch kits to help primarily homeowners be able to add the switch on the wall when they had maybe a pull chain light before, or if there's a long hallway that only has the switch on one side of the room or the hall, they can add a three-way switch kit. And we've got a wireless switch, and the technology behind it is really innovative in that there's no battery required for the wireless switches that we offer. They are powered kinetically by the motion of pressing the switch generates enough energy to power a radio transmitter, which sends the signal to a receiver to turn the light on or off.
Really cool technology that you're using here, and it's great that people don't have to worry about replacing a battery or going in and wiring things up. And what you've got out now is the RunLessWire Click for Hue. This is for people who have, Hue lighting systems around the house.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've found there's a pretty significant interest in the Hue system. It's been out for 5 or 6 years, and a lot of people really like it. And one thing that's been interesting is that oftentimes in a typical household, there's maybe one person in the home who's very enthusiastic about the smart home and the smart lighting, and there may be other people who live in the home who aren't as excited about having to use their cell phones to control the lights or talk to their assistant to be able to provide a verbal command to turn the lights on and off, and there can be some frustration there. And one of the really exciting things that we're able to bring to this market for the first time is a switch that looks just like every other switch that the smart home enthusiasts can install and appease any other members or visitors or guests that they may have in their home, so that they can interact with the lights in a way that they're very comfortable and familiar with.
Well, step us through how that's done, what this consists of, and how it's installed.
Absolutely. So this is a product that uses the same battery-free technology as our others in that it's kinetically powered, so there is no battery. It's intended to last for 20 years. It won't ever need a battery change or anything like that. It communicates with the Philips Hue Bridge, version 2, and it is configured with the Philips app so that you can activate scenes, you can turn the lights on and off. It also supports press and hold dimming. So holding either the top or the bottom of the switch will dim the brightness up or down depending on how it's configured using the app. And so the installation, it has a couple of options. There's an installation-free option where just using double-sided tape, it can be mounted anywhere on the wall. It comes with an included backplate. And we also support an option where it can replace an existing switch. One of the disadvantages, or one of the things that has been problematic where people are adopting the Hue light bulbs, is that if they're wired in a typical bedroom, there's already a switch on the wall, and when that switch is turned off, there's no power at the Hue light, and you can no longer control or turn the light on with the app since it doesn't have power. And with the Click for Hue switch, a wire nut is included and instructions for removing the existing switch and using the wire nut to just pass power straight through to the light bulb, and then you can fill that spot with the Click for Hue switch, which will allow it to wirelessly control and activate scenes and provide you the extra functionality and configurability that people so appreciate about the Hue ecosystem. And it comes with a 4-button option. There's 2 rockers, so you can control 2 different zones, or you can activate a couple of different scenes. Or we also include with the switch a single rocker option that looks exactly like every other Decora-style switch that could be in your house.
Really interesting, and it goes up really fast. And like you said, it can avoid some of the confusion that folks can run into if they have a typical wall switch controlling a fixture with a hue bulb in it. If that switch is turned off, as you said, the hue functionality, if you try to control it with let's say a smart speaker, it's not going to work. So you solve that problem.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a couple of little frustration or pain points that can happen in the home where you've got to be thinking about what is the current state of the power to the bulbs and different things, and that completely goes away with the use of the Click for Hue switch.
Tell us about availability and pricing.
The list price of the switch is $59.99. It's available on both Amazon and at RunLessWire.com. And another question that we get frequently about the switch is how it works in three-way configurations, like we talked about previously, if there's a room with two entrances or a long hallway. And it also does, it's a simple matter of buying two switches and putting them at both locations, and they can be configured to control the same light bulb. So it's very simple from that standpoint. So yeah, the availability is very straightforward. Prime shipping from Amazon, great return policies regardless of whether you buy it directly from RunLessWire.com or on Amazon.
What about the range? Where is it communicating to? Is it communicating to the bulb? Is it communicating back to the base station?
It does communicate back to the bridge, and it does work through the mesh network that's formed with the Hue bulbs, which is another benefit of the product. The Hue bulbs and the switch use a wireless protocol called Zigbee that has the ability to forward messages between the devices to be able to get them back to the base station and increase the range. And without the Click for Hue switch, if bulbs are turned off and there's no power at them, then they can no longer participate in this mesh repeating system, and it can decrease the range. And so with the Click for Hue, the bulbs will always be powered. It will enhance the performance of the system overall, and the switches will communicate back to the bridge, which will in turn send commands out to the bulbs. It's also important to note that the Philips system does not require an internet connection. So the bridge is required. It communicates through the bridge, but if you've got it connected to the internet, you can control the lights from outside the home. It's not necessary to connect to the internet, though, to get the functionality of the lights turning on and off, which is important.
Terrific. And where's the best place, once again, to go for info on these?
Yes, absolutely. RunLessWire.com is the best place to get the information, and there are links there that can take you to Amazon if you prefer to purchase it there. And there's a FAQ where the frequently asked questions section can answer most of the questions. There's also online chat, so if any questions come up, don't hesitate to reach out, and we're happy to answer those.
And again, we want to stress you don't have to go in and turn the power off and start fiddling around with wires to install this.
Exactly, yeah. It does support the installation-free aspect of the Philips Hue system. Like the bulbs are easy to change out. Just remove one light bulb and screw the new bulb in, and these likewise can just be mounted on the wall. There is the option to have the installation, which we recommend you do turn off the power if you're going to be removing the old switch to do a more integrated installation in your home, but it absolutely works with no installation at all.
Terrific. Again, it's RunLessWire. Jan Finlinson, thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.